How you going?
No,
All right. Well, thanks for everyone coming in, because today actually, and I'll explain this afterwards, but everyone here together, the culmination of the energy as we get focused, actually affects multitudes of people around us throughout the universe. So that's one of the reasons I hold this, is kind of not just to raise our vibration here, but for the whole world. You know, and that's really why I like doing this, because when you guys come here and I get to talk, it actually affects me tremendously. That's why I love doing it. All right. So to recap our last couple of interactions, because the two of you haven't been here, I've been talking about mindfulness, and not in the essence of filling up the mind, but actually the higher mind being completely present with no thoughts or very little thoughts whatsoever. And I kind of explained this, and you guys know me, so you heard me talk about this before. So just to recap it, when we're in a state of overthinking, we're not in the present state where we're naturally supposed to be. Just like a cork, when you pull it under the water, the natural state wants to float up the top. When we let go of thought, our natural state is to be present here in the present reality in which we're actually viewing. I'm not talking about delusional stuff, I'm talking about right here. And when we're here, our higher self, or our intuition, works supreme. And in that state, we actually know what to do, what to say, because the other part of the brain, the left part of the brain that kicks in, already knows language. We don't need to retrain that, but it doesn't need to think about language because we already know it. So the words coming to me right now were not rehearsed at all. But I know language because as a young child I was taught language. So that part of my brain is engaged. What I'm talking about, we're going to start engaging the right side of the brain, which has been deficient in human history for a very long time. So that's kind of what this is all about. So when we start to understand, when we quiet our thoughts down, we naturally fall into a state of presence, all right? So what I'm going to do, I want to start off with an exercise today, because I've been talking about this the last couple of times. So now how do I utilize this to make my life better, as we say? And this is how. When we're present, we can then choose the concept of the person we want to be, because who we truly are isn't the concept, but the viewer or the witnesser of the concept. But too often we're programmed from other people and outside of us, and we think the concept of who we are is who we are. It isn't. So just like an actor or an actress gets to choose their role, we get to choose the concept of who we want to be by staying present. But when we're not present, we don't have the energy to do so. So I'm going to do this nice little exercise right from the get-go, and then from there we'll take off. All right, so what I want you to do is just gently close your eyes. If you like to keep your eyes open, that's fine. All right. Now imagine yourself at a beach house. It's high noon, so the sun is directly overhead. And you step out onto the balcony, and you take your sandals or slippers off that you had on the house. And your feet, you feel the raw wood that's been tattered by the wind, the rain, and even the sand. And directly in front of you is a staircase. It contains 10 steps that lead down to the beach. Make your way to the staircase. Once at the staircase, place your hands on the railing. Notice the warm sun hitting the railings, and you feel the warmth of the wood. Take the first step onto the top step, which is 9. Feel the sand that's remnant is on the step with your bare feet. As we ascend more, step onto 8. Glide your hands down to the top of the railing. Noticing the ocean out in front of you. Step down to 7. Feel the worries of the day gone. Step down to 6. Notice the waves crashing onto the shore. Now you're on 5. Go down to 4. You can feel the breeze coming off the ocean now. Step onto 3. You can see the sand right in front of you. Down to 2. 1. Now step onto the sand. Feel the warmth of the sand on both your feet. I'm going to have you now proceed towards the ocean. As you walk towards the ocean, go to the wet part. And what we're going to do is, in any fashion, either through a phrase, a letter, a word, or a picture, place the concept in which you like to contain in your witnessed self on the beach. Take your time and do that. Hold no limits. Feel the sand as you're carving through it, that wet sand. If you use your hand or find a stick on the beach, do that. And when you finish, step back and observe your masterpiece that you created. Now what I'd like you to do is walk through it and get your feet wet in the ocean. Feel the waves picking up as they crash through you. Now we're going to turn around and head back to the staircase. Feeling the warmth of the sand on your feet. And you take each step slowly, feeling the wind at your back. Now that we reach the staircase, start heading up on the first step. Feel still the wet sand on your feet being pulled off by the steps. Second step. As you move up to the third step, you can feel yourself coming back into the reality in which you started. Do the fourth step, holding onto the railing. Move up to the fifth step. The sixth step. Now as you get to the seventh step, you're going to start coming back to the room a little bit. The eighth step. The ninth step. And the next step, I'm going to have you come right back to the room. And step onto that platform. Now, as you left that image on the sand, that's how we do it. Now, as you feel this focus, you were actually in there.